Hello and welcome to Hexed Encountered. I'm Joe. In this video, we will be taking a look via gameplay of the game I, Napoleon. This is a solitaire game designed by Ted Raicer, which allows you to kind of live through the life of Napoleon Bonaparte from his first real appearance on the world stage in 1793 through his death in 1821. This is published by GMT Games. I did a first look video for this. And so if you're not familiar with the components or, the basics of the game, let's say, I would recommend checking that out. But if you're going to soldier on, so to speak, we will get ready to go here. We are starting at the very beginning. This is the first era of the game. And this counter right here is a year tracker. You can see it goes from 1793 through the end of the command era, through the first consul era, through the imperial or emperor era, and then ultimately the end in 1821. So there are, I believe, 25 turns in the game, and we're going to get started here. So I will just kind of go through the setup. It's really basic here at the beginning. There isn't a whole lot on the board yet, but we'll take care of that as we go through the game. So I'm not sure how many turns we'll get through. I'll see how long the video is as we go along, and that will kind of determine how far we get in this first video. There may be more videos, as this game is a solitaire game. It certainly qualifies for my solo Sunday series, which could mean that I might end up playing the whole game for video, but we will see. I'm not making any promises one way or the other. So having said all that, let's get this show on the road. Okay, so here we see the general records track. As I already pointed out, our year is on 1793. That is the start of the game. You have administrative points, which you start with 3. Then you start with 0 for political points, diplomatic points, and glory points. Now, if you can hit this box with your glory points, you would basically equal Napoleon in terms of glory. That's one of the things that you can do that affects your end game state. And we'll talk about that later on. So that is the main section over here. You can also see the card draw track. You will draw between 5 and 12 in a turn. It's on the 1 right now. As you draw cards, you will move it down the track. And depending on how many you end up with, you could end up with as many as 12 or as few as 5. There is some variability in there for that. Now over here we have the Napoleon personal / family area. Now the I, Napoleon box, as I mentioned in the first look, is kind of his own personal box. Then you also have boxes for, his wife, his mistresses, his family, politics, and some more down below that we'll see in a moment. But there are several cards that you place out on the board at game start when you start the campaign in 1793. This is the commander card. It says place face down in I, Napoleon during CMD setup. We're in the commander era, as I already said. Income effects, you get +1 for your administrative points per year. Turn face up at the end of any campaign or expedition if you have 5 or more glory. Now down here we've got the other parts of his kind of personal circle. And then here you have the DRM track where you will track die roll modifiers for the game, the campaign stuff specifically. Then we have boxes down here that are more, this will be where your campaigns will show up. You'll have modifying cards here, commanders that you can assign, and current treaties. And then this one is strategy and tactics, and this starts with 2 cards as well. So here you can see this one says commander. Place face down in strategy and tactics during CMD setup. Turn face up by Topographical Bureau 32. And then this one just says place in strategy and tactics during CMD setup. So that really is all that is set up. All of the diplomacy tracks, you don't really probably need to do this yet because Napoleon's just a general. But I put everybody in neutral. The British column is always hostile for all 3. The others have allied, neutral, and hostile. Then there are the individual boxes that I showed in the first look video that have the various other countries that Napoleon and France can get mixed up with. So having done all that, now we can get down to the sequence of play and how the game actually works. For now, this is probably the look I'll keep at the, for gameplay purposes, because we have our card draw track here. You can see the bottom of the general records track. Everything is on that first row anyway, so it's all in view. The year counter is there, of course. Our DRM track is off to the right, but I will track that as we get into the actual fighting part of the game. You can also see here there's a domestic politics table, and our sequence of play is over here. There's also a campaign resolution table that's at the bottom, and I'll show that when we get into some campaign stuff. Okay, so right here, I made the draw deck based on the cards that are active for this era of the game. Each era has its own set of cards, and they're broken out. The Emperor period is broken out into several different phases. There's the main one, and then 1807, 09, 10, 14, and abdication. So we're definitely not going to get there in this particular video, but depending on how things go, we may get there eventually. So the way the card draws work, as I mentioned, you get 5. And then once you get to 6, there's a DR1 here. We roll a die. If it's a 1, then you're done. If it's anything other than a 1, in this case, you would go to 6, and then at 7, you'd roll again. If you get a 1 or 2, you're done. At 8, you need a 1 to 3 to be done, 1 to 4 at 9, and so on and so on. I'm just going to put the cards here. You kind of do it off to the side, but I figured I would show more of the board because the board is nice than, just like my table. So we're going to draw our first card, and we get Marat, Commander, okay? When revealed, so that's what you read first, and it says may. So you have may and must. A must is a mandatory card that you have to play. A may, you can elect to play it or hold it. So he's an independent commander, loyalty 7 to 10, may be appointed King of Naples in EMD. Campaign expedition effects, -2 glory to use, or 1 administrative point if King of Naples, +2 DRM in any 1 combat round after the first. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard this card because I don't have the glory to pay for it. You have to be able to meet the prerequisites to actually use it, and I don't have anything. So we move this to the next box. We draw our next card. I did shuffle these. There is a number at the bottom, as you can see there. This is enemy guns campaign modifier. When revealed, must place in campaign modifiers. Campaign modifiers was one of the boxes over at the bottom on the right side. And I'm going to put it there. And its effect is a -1 DRM in all combat rounds. So that's bad. The enemy has cannons, basically. We go to 3. We draw another card. Riding accident, immediate effect. When revealed, advance the card draw track and reveal the next card, then discard it. Unless it is an Austria, Britain, Prussia, or Russia card, then remove this card from play. If riding accident is drawn as the final card draw during the card action phase, it remains active and is played during the first applicable card draw in the following year. All right, so we draw the next card. It is Infantry Vendée. And so unless it is one of the country cards, so it is not. So we have to discard this card, so we will. And then with this one, then remove this card from play. So the card is out of play now, and basically it just pulled another card. So I believe that also, yes, it said to advance the card draw, so that counted as our third and fourth, or second and third rather, card draw. So this is 4. Sick leave. When revealed, may place in I, Napoleon, may remove from play to ignore 1 campaign or expedition per year. Okay, so this one has a 1796 at the bottom. That is the removed by section. So we can place this in the I, Napoleon box, which I will. That way I have the option to ignore 1 campaign or expedition per year. All right. So that would put us at 5. So this is our last freebie, so to speak. Sidelined, immediate effect. When revealed, must -1 political point and then remove this card from play. I don't have a political point, so we would remove it from play, I believe. Let me check that because I don't remember if you can't play it, if it just goes back into the draw deck, it might, or the discard as opposed to remove from play. Okay, so in this case, it's a mandatory card because it has a must, and its cost cannot be met because I don't have any political points. You discard it, and it doesn't count, basically, and we just draw another card without advancing our card draw. And so now we have Linné, or Linnes. When revealed, may place in commanders, loyalty 4 to 10, campaign expedition effects -1 to use, -1 act, administrative to use, and I do have administrative points. He would give you +1 DRM in any one combat round, or +2 DRM in first combat round, then remove from play. I'm going to put him in my commander box. Now we have to roll the die to see if we get a 6th card, and unless we roll a 1, we will. Here is the shiny green die they give you, 10-sided, I guess, right? Yeah, 10-sided. I thought it was 8-sided for some reason. We got a 4. So that means we can advance here and to draw another card. Corsica Expedition. When revealed, roll the die and remove this card from play with no effect on a result of 1 to 6. Otherwise, must immediately resolve an expedition. Roll the die. Okay, so we're going to take the die, we're going to roll, and it went off the thing, and it was a 10. So 6 or more success, +5 glory, and +1 political point. So we take our glory and put it on 5, and we take our P and put it on 1. And then remove from play. Yeah, it gets removed. Because down here you have your removed from play symbols, and the 1796, if we get to that era, it gets removed, and if we play it, it gets removed. Played. Now we roll again to see if anything but a 1 or a 2 will give us another card, and it's a 2. So that ends our year of 1793, and we did not draw a campaign, so we didn't have to do any fighting this turn. Looking at our sequence of play, we've just done the card action phase, so the next one would be the campaign resolution phase. As I mentioned, we didn't draw a campaign card, so there is no campaign or any wars with anybody. Then we go to the diplomatic phase, which only happens in First Consul and Emperor eras, so we don't have to worry about that. Domestic politics, also only First Consul and Emperor. So then we go to the cleanup phase, which is where we are right now. So for us, the only thing that happens here is that the admin points go back to 0. They reset. Politics and glory do not reset, so they stay. Glory is at 5, politics is at 1. We advance our marker to the second year, which is, of course, 1794, and we continue the game. One thing I forgot is anything in the campaign modifiers box, which this one was, gets discarded, so it goes out as well. The other thing that happens here as we set up for 1794 is here we have our commander card, and it says place face down. During setup, income effect is +1 admin per year. Then turn face up at the end of any campaign or expedition. We had an expedition, and I forgot to do this. If you have 5 or more glory. We do have 5 glory. So we flip it over, and our income, he's now General Bonaparte, we get 2 admin per year. So we place that down, and as you can see, this is the active era with its income effect right here at the bottom, and that is the era in which it will be removed. It will be removed when he becomes First Consul, assuming we get there. So our admin points go to 2 as we start our second year of, our year of 1794. The other thing we had to do, and this happens occasionally, is there are some cards that get pulled out of the draw deck, which I've done, and I actually reshuffled as well. Those would be these 3 cards right here. Artillery Toulon, You can see it's got a 1794 on it. It means it gets axed at 1794. Same with Advisor to the Turks. And Artillery Lyon also gets knocked out by the 1794. So those are all removed from play. And I think that's the only thing we have to do here. Yes, because we haven't gotten to 1796, which is when we'll start adding cards in. So we'll just pick right up here. Draw our first card. It is to say, it says may place in commanders, -1 admin to use, and you can choose for +1 DRM in any one combat round, or +3 DRM in second combat round, then remove from play. So we're going to put him in with Lene, so that we have 2. Or Lannis. I'm not sure how to pronounce some of these guys' names, so I'm not all that well versed in Napoleon's career and all his generals and marshals and things, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, so that would be 1. Now we go to 2. We get scabies. That's not good to get. Immediate effect, when revealed, must -3 glory and then remove this card from play. Gee, thanks. Okay, so that puts glory at 2, and our scabies, thankfully, hits the bricks. Okay, we go to 3. Army of the Interior, immediate effect. When revealed, must +2 political, then remove this card from play. So we're going to move his political to 3. It was at 1. Next, we go to 4. Next is Augustin Robespierre. When revealed, may place in politics. Ongoing effects, may choose to ignore 1 campaign or expedition per year. Discard without effect. Gain +2 DRM on under arrest. Inflicts -2 DRM on Brumaire. Let's play it. We're going to put it in the politics box, which is a Napoleon box in the red area. All right, and it gets removed by either the first console deck appearing or card 29. Now, card 29, I'm going to look at my card manifest in the oh-so-helpful playbook here, is Robespierre's fall, as you might expect. The fall of the radical Jacobin faction in 1794 marked the end of the terror and briefly placed Napoleon's future in doubt. Okay, there's more, but we'll see it if we get the card. Okay, so we move to 5, draw another card. Enemy attack. Campaign modifier. So we're going to put this in the campaign modifier, and it gives us a -1 DRM in the first combat round. Okay, now we go to 6, and we have to roll a die. And it rolled off. It's a 7. I'm not using my tower because it just takes up space. So that's obviously outside the range, so we do get to draw a card. Topographical Bureau, immediate effect. When revealed, must 1P and flip Maneuver sur le derrière 23 face up. Then remove this card from play. That's one of the setup cards. Okay, so we throw this out. We get 1 political point, pushing us to 4. And we flip this card. This is the card in question. It's card 23, as you see when we flip it. Maneuver sur le derrière, or le derrière, le derrières, I guess. We all know what that means, I think. Ongoing combat effect, +1 DRM in the first combat round of each campaign. Cannot be used with Polish campaign, retreat from Russia, or Russia. And its ongoing, its removal is only in the first console deck era if it's not face up. Since it's face up, I guess we get to keep this guy, which is nice. That's sweet. All right. And so now we try to go to 7. Again, we need anything but a 1 or a 2, and I rolled a 2 again. Apparently 7 is not my lucky number. All right, so that would end the 1794 turn. I think we'll try to do 1 more to get through 95, and then perhaps in the second episode we'll start at 1796. So we remove our campaign modifier, this guy right here. It goes back into the draw pile because it does not have anything removal on it. If we look at our deck, and I can show you what I do, is you look at the removal area, and we're looking for 1795. And I saw one when I was looking for 1794, so I know it's in here. There's a 96. There's another 96. There's 95. I think this is the only one. And 96, 96, 96, 96. I think we're back. Okay. And I'm going to shuffle these again. So this would be the Infantry Vendée campaign. Must place in campaign if empty, otherwise discard. So we don't get to play this campaign, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping to get one campaign, but we have not yet done that. So we go to 1795 here. We reset everything but glory and politics. So we have 2 glory and 4 politics, admin, and diplomacy, which isn't going to move anywhere until we become first consul. Go back to 0. We move our card draw marker back to 1. I'm going to shuffle these off camera, and then we'll come back and start 1795. Okay, on to 1795. Start our first with our... Oh, we get our 2 admin points. So we'll take that from our General Bonaparte card. We get Junot. May place in commanders, loyalty 8 to 10, -1 admin to use, +1 DRM in any one combat round. I will take this guy. If he fails as an expedition, independent commander, then we lose him. But otherwise, he can hang around. So that's 1 card. We go to card number 2. The Supper at Beaucaire, I don't know. Must place in politics, okay? Triggered effects when under arrest is revealed, which we have not seen yet. +2 DRM if Robespierre's fall has not been played, or -1 DRM if it has been played, then remove this card. Okay, so we want Robespierre to hang around a little bit. Maybe get the under arrest first, because we get a couple of... or we just get through and we don't worry about it. So we go to 3. Capturing a general. Must place in campaign modifiers after resolving the campaign, no matter the outcome. Roll the die. 1 to 3, no effect. 4 to 10, +5 glory. Nice. That's a good one. That's the first good one we've gotten. Under arrest. Immediate effect. When revealed, if escape is in play, may remove both cards from play, so this card has no effect. Otherwise, must roll the die. 1 or less, you are executed by either Robespierre or the Directory, and the game ends. 2, 3, if Robespierre's fall has not been played, you are executed by Robespierre, and the game ends. Otherwise, no effect. 4 or more, no effect. Augustin Robespierre and the Supper at Beaucaire may provide DRMs on this roll. If in play, then remove this card from play. So we do get +2 because we have both of those cards. We get +2 from both of them. So we get a +4, which means, I think, that we cannot be executed because we can't roll a 0, I think. We got a 4. +4 is 8, and that is in the 4 or more. So no effect. This card gets discarded, and we dodge a bullet. So for this one, when under arrest, we remove this card from play because 33 was played. And 29 is the other one. That would be Robespierre's execution, I believe. Okay, so we go to 4. And draw a card. Rot. May place in commanders, loyalty 710, may be appointed King of Naples in EMD. -2 glory to use, or -1A of King of Naples, +2 DRM in any one combat round after the first. You know what? I'm going to discard this one for now. We'll go to 5. Piedmont Expedition. Okay. Piedmont Expedition. Must immediately resolve an expedition with no supporting commanders. Roll the die. 1 to 5, failure, no effect. 6 to 10, success, +3 glory. All right, so we need a 6 to 10, and we got a 4, so we fail. So we fail, that goes discarded because we played it. Okay, well now we'll roll to see. We got a 2. Well, that's good enough. So, escape. May place in I, Napoleon. May remove from play to ignore under arrest, lose all glory in politics, and discard all campaign and expedition cards for the rest of the year, both currently in play and if drawn. I'm going to dump this because 33 was already revealed, so this, I think, becomes a not playable card, which means we draw another one. And this time we get sidelined, must -1p, and then remove this card from play. So we go down to 3, politic, and that gets ditched. Now we go to 7. We'll see if we can get higher or not. Get a 2. And look at that. We got a 2. Again. 7. You were killing me, man. All right, so now we will remove all the cards that have 1796 in them. So this one. This one. And this one. So Robespierre's Fall, 29. Okay, so this gets removed, which removes this as well. The sick leave card gets removed. This capturing a general will get removed because it's a campaign modifier. And then I don't think any of my commanders will be removed right now. They are not. So these cards will stay in play, and then we'll add the 1796 deck to them. And this is the 1796 deck right here. So you have divider cards. This card is the divider. So you place this, we place this one in potential treaties, face up when added in 1796. So we have the Treaty of Campo Formio, potential treaty. All right, so that's off to the side. Then this one is placed in Minister of Police when added in 1796. May 1 admin to reinstate, flip face up during the existing card play segment. So we'll put him in here. And then this one, place in potential campaigns when face up when added in 1796. This is the Syrian campaign. So when played, immediately resolve another campaign resolution phase. So we can do a campaign, which would be kind of cool. And then these will all get shuffled in. With these guys, this one kind of goes away. That is it. So I'm going to shuffle these, and actually what I'm going to do also is stop the video now. So we're going to stop here right before we begin the 1790. Oops, I forgot to move the year marker. So we're at 1796. We're going to stop here and pick this up in a second part. When that second part is, I don't know, but not in the not too distant future. I'm not sure I'm done with Night Fighter Ace for Solo Sunday. So we may do a part 2 sometime midweek or something, and then this might slot in with future episodes, depending on how far I get and whether I think it's worth doing. You know, we'll see how things go, basically. We'll see how this is received, etc., etc. And I also, of course, have a bunch of other stuff I want to play. But that's an ongoing thing. So I have rambled enough. I do thank you guys for watching, as always. Please feel free to comment, ask questions, etc. That's always appreciated, and I will do my best to respond. Please consider liking, sharing, and or subscribing if you are a subscriber. I appreciate that. It helps reinforce my desire to continue doing this. I enjoy it anyway. It's not like I'm doing it for the money. Let's just put it that way, because there ain't much money. But yeah, that's going to do it for now. So I'm Joe. This is the Hexed Encounter channel. And until next time, as always, happy gaming.